and on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're on Twitter. We're on every social media thing you can be on, I guess. And it's good to have you with us tonight. It's time. It's almost time to get this thing underway. Georgia taking on Ohio State in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl in Atlanta. And both teams, we have a live feed into the stadium. Both teams are on the field going through their pregame conditioning and workouts. And we also have a monitor here with this fantastic TCU Michigan game, 51-38. Michigan, or TCU leading over Michigan. And not to be, a snarky know-it-all, but guess who picked TCU to win this game over Michigan? Now, I know the game is not over yet, but it's looking pretty good for TCU. TCU is a tough team. And, Michigan's a good team. And I hate to be, well, no, I don't really hate to be this way. They're a Big Ten team. And, if you're an SEC kind of guy like I am, if you're an SEC kind of guy like I am, Big Ten's overrated. I'm sorry. And no, there was no way that, whoever is in charge of college football was going to allow a rematch between Ohio State and Michigan in the national championship game. Just absolutely not. So we have that on the monitor here, and we're watching it. TCU playing a fantastic game. What a great game. What a great game this has been between TCU and Michigan. Michigan giving up only a little over 14 points a game. Their defense just being decimated by TCU. And again, TCU, as you're probably watching the game as well as I am, up 51-38. But of course, the game we really care about. How you doing, Chris? Indeed. Go Dogs. Rich Beck checking in with us. Lucille Carter as well. Now, my prediction for this game between for Georgia and Ohio State, my prediction is 34-17. Hey, Justin, how you doing? Everyone pray for the Dogs. We need the help. Indeed. And we got some other guys checking in. Hey, Rich. TCU is elite. TCU has a very good football team, and Max Duggan, he's a dude. I mean, he's a dude, and that defense that TCU has, very quick. They're on the smaller size, especially on the defensive line, but the scheme they play, that 3-5, 3 defense, which is kind of a specialized defense. It's working tonight against Michigan. Let's see. What does that say? Michigan in the first half allowed a little over 5 points a game in the first 13 games. In second half points. Tonight, they've allowed 30 points. So there you go. Hey, Tyrone, how you doing, my man? Indeed, Dogs number 1. Miss Lisa checking in with us as well. And Jeremy, go Dogs. Wherever you are, give us a hey, give us a hello. And, if you're out of the South, we have folks listening all over and checking in with us all over. Give us a location so that we can know exactly where you are. But Georgia is getting ready. Georgia is on the field. We have a feed into the stadium. Georgia is on the field going through their pregame conditioning. Ohio State is doing that as well. The stadium is almost at capacity. They're expecting, the largest crowd ever for a football game in Mercedes-Benz Stadium tonight, even larger than the Super Bowl that was played there some years ago. Michael said, I picked TCU to win before the game. It looks like, to me, neither has a defense. Yeah. It's been an offensive game. Hey, Steven, how you doing? Beat the Buckeyes. Dogs are going to win according to Steven, 38-20. Okay. Well, my prediction is 34-17. And that's based simply on the fact that every time I say Georgia's going to win 34-17, they win. Now, they never win by that margin, or rarely do they win by that margin. But every time I say, hey, Georgia's going to win this game 34-17, Georgia wins. So I'm going to stick with it. So what is your prediction? Hey, Rich from Buffalo, New York. Hope things are well up in New York. Some snow up that way, and the Bills have a big game coming up. Yeah, pretty soon. Miss Jenny, how you doing? Go Dogs, indeed. Glad to have you all, you guys, checking in with us tonight. I pray before every game. Yeah, someone asked me one time, does I saw a church sign one time, a church sign, and a sign outside the church inviting people to come, and the church sign said, God doesn't care who wins the game, but the sign guy does. Go Dogs. so, so indeed. Um, Go Dogs from Thompson. How you doing? Miss Susan. Indeed. Jerry Lindsay. Go Dogs. So it's good to have you guys checking in with us tonight. We got a lot of guys checking in and gals checking in from all over the place. Um, Troy Sharpton says it's going to be 38-24 Dogs. Matthew Mitchell's got Georgia winning 38-24. Or Troy Sharpton, rather, 38-24. Matthew Mitchell, 42-13. Rich has got his James Cook jersey on right now. Ooh, who just happens to be a Buffalo Bill. There you go. Christy Lee, 37-28. She has Georgia winning over Ohio State, 37-28. So what is your prediction? Melissa Peacock, she likes our prediction of 34-17. So it's been quite an eventful day. I tell you what, Brock Bowers, yes, a lot of folks checking in with us, and we love it and we appreciate it. And we got Miss Cindy checking in from Virginia Beach, Virginia. All right, we got dog fans from all over the nation. Justin checking in from North Carolina. Let's see. We're trying to catch up with everybody. We got a lot of folks checking in. Cindy says 38-24. Brenda says my prediction was 24-17. Going to adopt my prediction. 34-17. Well, thank you. We got checking in here. Candy from Louisville, Georgia. Or in Georgia, is it Louisville? In Kentucky, it's Louisville. But, Austin checking in from North Mississippi and checking in with us as well. Tony checking in from Dawson, Georgia. Matthew checking in from Augusta, Georgia. And we got our New Mexico dog checking in. Miss Gail, indeed. So Georgia, and right now on the ESPN feed, they're kind of dipping in, watching Georgia getting ready to go. Kenny McIntosh. So this game with TCU and Michigan, the 6:42 left to go, and so it probably will be over by 8:00. So let's see. TCU still ahead, 51-38. Michigan with the ball, driving on. Was that a catch? Yeah, that was a catch. Driving at the Michigan or at the TCU 41-yard line. Time is running out on Michigan. This will be a big upset loss for Michigan if they lose this game. Stephen Dukes from Hazelhurst, Georgia. Been there, done that. Beautiful city of Hazelhurst, Georgia. Hunter Lewis checking in from Bainbridge, Georgia. There you go. We got Lexington, Kentucky checking in. There you go. Or Lexington, South Carolina. I'm sorry. Lexington, South Carolina. Kickoff time announced. Kickoff time is 8:20. Oh, there you go. Yeah, they kind of changed it a little bit. Of course, they're anticipating this game maybe going a little longer, and they want to fit it all in. ESPN does. Tyrone checking in with us. Okay. So he's saying, comparing Ohio State with the game they played against Michigan, he just doesn't believe they're going to be able to stand up with the Dogs. Miss Gail, love your broadcast. Thank you very much, Miss Gail. We appreciate it. Ryan checking in from Walterboro, South Carolina. Boy, I was hoping South Carolina was going to win that game against Notre Dame. That was a good game, and I was pulling for my SEC team, and I love Shane Beamer. I want him to win every game, but against Georgia. Let's see. Terry checking in from Concord, Virginia. We love Concord, Virginia. I've never been there. Been to Virginia. Prairieville, Louisiana. Hey, Miss Doris, how are you doing? Checking in with us. And Danny from Lancaster, California. Indeed. Now the line, I guess you call it the betting line or whatever, has kind of shifted a little bit throughout the day. It was 6.5 points at the beginning of the day. Now it's Georgia with a five. Georgia is a 5.5 point favorite, so it's dropped a little bit. Georgia a 5.5 point favorite over Ohio State. And a lot of the prognosticators now, earlier in the week, a lot of people, there was a lot of buzz. Ohio State's going to win this game and yada, yada. And you're still getting some of that today. In fact, Lee Corso did pick Ohio State to beat Georgia. And that's Lee Corso. But most people are sticking with a Georgia win. And so we're excited. It's coming up soon. Just thought we'd give you guys the opportunity to jump in here and give us what you think the score is going to be. Hey, Miss Keisha from Rush, Kentucky. Kentucky had a hard day today. Kentucky had a rough day today in their bowl game. And the quarterback, he opts out and all that kind of stuff. I don't like that. I just, okay. Lee says that Georgia's got this, and I believe that is true as well. Dale Carver has Georgia winning 42-30. So what do you guys think? Michigan's on the drive. There, J.J. McCarthy is got Michigan is on a first down within the 5-yard line. Now your feed may be different. Our feed is this: 4:29 left to go in the game. TCU on top of Michigan 51-38. So if Michigan scores a touchdown here, that'll make it 51-44. Then they'll probably go for 2. That'll make it 51-46. Or would you go for 2? Yeah, I guess you would. Kind of interesting. All right, 4:07 left to go. J.J. McCarthy. And Michigan trying to knock it in. Good play by the TCU defense. Clock is running. Oh, boy. Let's see. Steven says, what do you think about the NFL and transfer portal? Honestly, if you want to make changes, what would those be? The NIL and the transfer portal is here to stay. I think now things, when it first came on the scene, the NIL thing, when it first came on the scene, it was kind of like the Wild West. Nobody really knew. There was no really governance and that kind of thing. It was dependent upon actually the state legislatures, believe it or not, of Michigan scores a touchdown. Okay. So the game is not over by any means. But the NIL is here to stay. I think it's, the NCAA needs to step in, and there needs to be some kind of guidelines that are across the board for the NIL, but it's good for the players. I don't like this certain recruits wanting so much money from the NIL before they're going to sign, to play football at a college or something like that. Okay, so Michigan has scored. And the kick is good. It's 51-45 with 3:18 left to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that game's not over yet. So the NIL is here to stay, and whether you like it or not, that's just the way it is. I think it's good for some guys. I think it can get out of hand. I don't know how you're going to govern this thing, but there needs to be some kind of governance. And now you have high school players who are signing NIL deals, believe it or not. and high school players who have agents who are demanding so much NIL money to sign with a team. So I don't know. The transfer portal, it is what it is. What if I can make changes? If I can make changes, I don't know. I'd have to think about it. But if I have to honestly think about it. I just, I'm kind of an old school kind of guy. I like the way it was, but I'm not a player and I haven't played and I don't have the players' insight, but I've talked to a lot of players. They like the NIL and they like the transfer portal thing. I don't like the opting out at the end of the season. I don't like that. I just don't like that. Let's see. Cameron checking in from Hawaii. All right, Cameron. Um, enjoy the game. This game will start at 8:20, which means that it will not be over until the new year. I mean, somewhere in the third quarter, early fourth quarter, my bride and I, we always exchange a New Year's Day or New Year's time kiss, and we're going to do that. So, but it's going to be next year before this game is over. Michigan, yeah, yep, we saw that. Let's see. Candy, her score. She's predicting her score. Georgia 21, Ohio State 14. I hope it's not that close. I really hope it's not that close. Leslie checks in 35-24 dogs from Waycross, Georgia. Let's see. All right. Bulls need to share revenue and provide insurance for players. Oh, okay. That's a good idea. Yeah, Jerry, college football was a big, big business. So, some of the other games now, Alabama, of course, winning today. Alabama winning big time today over the Big 12 champion Kansas State. I mean, it just reiterates the point that we're all glad that Alabama is not in the playoffs. Alabama played great today, and I mean, they showed that they were indeed, Alabama is one of the four best teams in the country. Now they lost 2 games, and if you want to get in the playoffs, win your games. Don't lose your games, okay? But boy, Alabama was really, really good today. They took out Young, the quarterback for Alabama, had a great day today. Boy, it's the 4 teams in the college football playoffs are glad that Alabama was not in it. A big win for Alabama today, and Kentucky got beat. And let's see. Will you be showing the Ohio State game? Contractually, we cannot do that. We're watching it. Here's how I watch it. Okay. I watch it on ESPN on DirecTV and on the SEC network. You can watch the Georgia Ohio State game with the Georgia radio announcers. I believe that's true, right? On the SEC network. So you don't have to deal with the ESPN guys. You can actually watch the game with Scott Howard and Eric Zier and TJ Shockley giving the play-by-play. They feed in the radio feed, and you can watch the game listening to the Georgia announcers. I think that's on the SEC network. That's how we're going to watch it. And, so I just prefer my hometown guys. And so, I just prefer that. I'm trying to talk to you and watch this game as well. All right. It's 51-45, 3:14 left to go according to our feed. And so what do you think? Okay, the TCI, okay, I got you. Can TCU hang on? I certainly hope so. Okay, Colton says, okay. Did you see the video, by the way? Did you see the video of Georgia players being asked what a Buckeye was? A Buckeye's a nut, right? Off a tree, isn't that right? And their responses were pretty hilarious. And also the response or the question that was given Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett, all your teammates are saying you have the poorest taste in music. And the response he gave. If you haven't seen those videos, go to Dogs on Demand Instagram page or the Facebook page, and you'll just love it. All right, 250 left to go, according to our feed. Second down, 8. TCU 51, Michigan 45. This game's certainly not over. What a football game. So the Georgia game will begin at 8:20. And so we got about 30 minutes for that. Let's see, your TCU running up the middle. Did he get a first down? Just shy of it. Let's see. By the way, Happy New Year to everyone. Is he just shy of it? Or did he get a first down? 3rd and 1. Oh, here's a big play. Here's a big play. Now, your feed may be different. You may have already seen the play. Amanda says that her grandpa carried a Buckeye in his pocket for luck. I heard that. They're supposed to be good luck. You know, you get them and they're supposed to be good luck. All right, so let's see what TCU is going to do here. They do that thing, and I haven't seen this, but TCU, you know, the quarterback lines up under center, and then they bring a guy in motion. He lines up right behind the quarterback, and then the ball is snapped, and that guy pushes the quarterback, which you can do. That's illegal. You can't pull a player, but you can push a player. That's kind of interesting. So I'll have to get me a Buckeye to carry in my pocket. Indeed. So we're enjoying the game as well as you are enjoying the game here for Michigan and TCU. TCU 51, Michigan 45. 1st and 10 for TCU. Now they're going to try to run the clock, and Michigan has all 3 timeouts left. And so Michigan, I suppose, and they will call a timeout. Some great bowl games. Notre Dame beat South Carolina 45-38. We watched that game. Well, it was a good game. I was pulling so hard for South Carolina to win that game, but they could not do it. So Notre Dame beats South Carolina. Alabama winning today in the Sugar Bowl. Big win over Kansas State. The the Big 12 champion. Pittsburgh beat UCLA 37-35. That was an interesting game. Florida State beat Oklahoma 35-32. That was a great game. That was in the Cheez-It Bowl. And boy, did they have fun with the Duke's Mayo Bowl, where Maryland beat North Carolina State. There's mayonnaise everywhere. And in the Cheez-It Bowl, you know, instead of, you know, pouring Gatorade over the winning coach, they poured Cheez-Its over it. TCU with the ball. Second, it'll be 3rd down with 1 minute and 3 seconds left to go. Michigan takes another timeout. Texas Tech beat Ole Miss 42-25. The SEC really hasn't had a great bowl as far as records are concerned so far. Tennessee did beat Clemson 31-14. We watched that game. That was a good game. And we're getting word now that Ladd McConkey will be playing for Georgia and with no restrictions. Warren McClendon will be available for Georgia, and they're going to keep an eye on him. So Georgia has some guys who have been injured, and they're going to be back out on the field. Hey, Miss Lisa, go Dogs indeed. Anybody else with a prediction? 34-17 is our prediction. By the way, we appreciate Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lender of the Georgia Bulldogs, for making what we do here at Dogs on Demand possible. Now, we're going to do a pregame thing, but that's what we're doing now. We'll be back with you at halftime with some halftime stats, give you the opportunity to give you your 2 cents worth in for the first half. Yeah, Jerry, good point. Have to play smart, disruptive, disciplined tonight, both sides of the ball. I agree. Colton says it's going to be 50-7. Georgia winning over Ohio State. Man, I like the way you think. Hope it happens. All right, 59 seconds left to go in this game between TCU and Michigan. 51 45, fourth down, 1 yard to go. 4th and 1 now for TCU. So I said TCU deep in their own territory. So they will be punting it away. Michigan has no timeouts left, and they have a little less than a minute to score a touchdown. Should we stay with the guys here? What? You want me to? Okay. My producer says, why don't you give your commentary on this game as we get ready for the Georgia game? Oh, come on, Georgia. Colton says Ohio State will not score until the fourth quarter. Okay. You know, and Georgia, again, a 5-point favorite. Is TCU going for it? TCU is going for it on 4th and 1? Seriously? TCU is going for it. Are they going to try to pull Michigan offside, right? Yeah, that they can't be going for it that deep in their own territory. Seriously, TCU trying to pull Michigan offside. And Michigan's not going to bite. Michigan is not going to bite. There you go. I mean, you know, I'm not much of a football coach, but I could tell that was not going to work. So 59 seconds left to go. TCU gets a delay of game penalty, and they'll be kicking. By the way, our good buddy, you're either elite or not elite. There you go. Our good buddy in Hawaii. Where's our Hawaii buddy? Who's in there you go, Cameron. Cameron, my man. What time is it in Hawaii, Cameron? And how's the weather in Hawaii? The weather's pretty good here where we are, our broadcast center. It's a pretty nice day today. Had some rain earlier today. Okay, so TCU is kicking. And Michigan will field the punt with no, he didn't fair catch it. And so Michigan will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 45 with 52 seconds left to go in this game. Now, again, this is our feed. Your feed may be different. You know, there's always a little time difference. Cameron says it's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon and 77 degrees. You know, we had almost 77 degrees here in South Georgia today. Had some rain earlier. Good deal. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So Cameron, you know, it'll be almost daylight still when this game between Georgia and Ohio State is over. So let's see what Michigan's going to do. You can watch the TV, but I'll give you a little commentary as well. McCarthy back to pass. I used to do play-by-play. Being chased out of the pocket, out over the 25, out over the 30, and out of bounds. Cameron says, I was in Rome the last 3 weeks on leave. Oh, he's in the military. Well, God bless you and thank you for your service. Cameron, indeed. Yeah, if you were in Rome the last 3 weeks, it was cold around here. Cold for Georgia anyway. All right, Michigan with the ball, 2nd and 5 at the TCU 30-yard line. McCarthy back to pass, being rushed. Got a man. It was, almost intercepted by TCU. And Michigan has no timeouts left, but the incompletion will stop the clock. It'll be 3rd and 5. Michigan behind, 51-45. McCarthy, I don't know who he was throwing to then, but all right, so it's 3rd and 5 now. Michigan at their own 30-yard line, and yeah, there's all kind of penalty flags coming out. The false start against Michigan. So that'll be 3rd down and 10 for Michigan. TCU 51, Michigan 45. And Georgia's getting ready, and we're about 20 minutes away from kickoff for Georgia. So TCU 51, Michigan 45. 39 seconds left to go. TCU looks tough. They're loading up. Ball at the 25. McCarthy back to pass. broken up by the defensive back there for TCU. And so it'll be fourth down, 4th and 10, and this is the game. Oh, well, potentially, this is the game. This next play. And unless Michigan gets a first down, it's all over. And, it's enough that we have seen J.J. McCarthy's family enough. He's got a beautiful family, nice girlfriend. Oh, there's a fumble. Michigan fumbled the ball. The ball's loose, picked up by a Michigan player. He gives it to somebody, and he tosses it around, ball going all over the place. That's it. And is there a flag? Nope, no flag. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, TCU has upset the Michigan Wolverines 51-45. So when Georgia wins over Ohio State, it will be the University of Georgia taking on TCU. Who would have thunk that at the beginning of the season? TCU was the 7th ranked, or projected to be the 7th ranked team in the Big 12 at the beginning of the season. And Michigan now, for the 2nd year in a row, goes down to defeat. Georgia, of course, defeating Michigan last year, 35-11 in the Orange Bowl. And now Michigan goes down again to defeat, this time in the Fiesta Bowl. Let's see. David says, can I watch the game on this channel? Unfortunately not. I wish we could. ESPN has the game, obviously, and hopefully you can watch the game on ESPN. We hope. We will come back at halftime now, so we're going to get out of here. We'll come back at halftime, give you the opportunity to talk about the first half. Thank you guys from all over the country and around the world for joining us for our pregame show. Go Dogs. We love our dogs. It's time to strap it up and go against this Ohio State team. I'll see you at halftime.